Alright, everybody, welcome to the featured matchup of today. Today we have Irelia versus Vex. Now, this can be a pretty tricky matchup. It's pretty much considered a counter pick because she's just pretty good into Irelia. Irelia dashes a lot, so Vex can use her passive very well in this matchup. I think, honestly, if you play this matchup well, it doesn't actually have to be a counter pick. At level 6, you're quite strong, especially if you have the wave on your side. You can run Vex down a long lane, and that's what you'll see in this game, actually. The most important thing to understand about this matchup and all burst matchups is the damage time graph. So here we have a little graph. On the x-axis, we have the damage. On the y-axis, we have the time. So obviously, if you're in a fight, the longer the fight goes on for, the more damage everyone's going to do. So let's say at the start of the fight, let's draw Vex's damage over time. So for Vex, how her damage is going to look is she's going to have a big spike of damage at the early start of the fight because that's when she uses her abilities, and her abilities are her source of damage. Now, after she used her combo, she's going to very much plateau in her damage because then, all she has is her auto attacks while her abilities are on cooldown, and those do very little damage. And then once she gets her second rotation of abilities, her damage is going to do another spike and then plateau if the fight lasts that long. How Irelia works is, sure, in the early start of the fight, she gets maybe a little bit of, early spike in damage. Maybe you land your E, your Qs. She'll do a pretty decent spike of early damage, but her damage kind of slowly goes up. It doesn't really spike at all because she has very good DPS rather than burst. Sure, she has some burst, with her W and other skills, but in the early levels in lane, you have very extended damage. So basically, what's going to happen is if you if you take a trade, let's say you end the trade at this point, right? Right after Vex has done her damage, you're just going to lose the trade. So what you need to do is you need to extend the trade long enough after she's used her abilities up here to where your extended damage wins the trade on the back end. And then if you keep trading, maybe if she survives long enough, she can potentially kill you on her second rotation. But you don't have to worry too much about that in the early levels. So basically, the principle is if you can survive her burst, if you can survive her max output of damage at this point, you can kill Vex in an all-in. Whereas if you don't have enough HP, let's say this is like 300 damage. If you're at 300 HP and you die, well, you're going to die before you can output more damage than her. But let's say you're at I don't know, like 500 HP. If you can survive for 500 HP, then you're going to be able to win the trade on the back end once she runs out of damage. And this applies to all matchups like this for Irelia, especially AP burst matchups, because her W is less effective at blocking AP damage. It's only 17% effective as opposed to 40%. So this is the most important concept when I think about these burst matchups, like for example Vex. Zoe is another good example of a matchup like this, and I'll show you the importance of this. So a while ago, I actually did a review in the Irelia Improvement series where I covered this matchup, and the one of the main things I covered was taking E level 1 and just Eing the minions. So that was an alteration that I did to win this matchup. I started my E ability, E level 1, get the minions without taking too much poke. And the most important thing, remember guys, the most important thing is that we're staying healthy enough to survive her burst and be able to kill her in the back end of the trade. So what I'm trying to do here is stay as healthy as possible, not take any damage. Because I have D-Blade and not D-Shield and I don't have Second Wind, I'm giving minions if I have to. If I'm gonna take a lot of damage to get a minion, I'm gonna give it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna try and get minions as well as I can. This cannon I tried to E. I was a little bit slow there, and I was unfortunately unable to get it. But for example, if I Q on this cannon, I'm gonna take so much damage that I'm not gonna be able to kill her anymore. So here I continue to get my farm, and now at this point of the lane, I'm so high HP that I'm gonna survive a Vex full combo. As you can see here, her full combo doesn't even come close to killing me. And so now, when she's run out of damage, look, she has no more damage after her full combo anymore. So at this point, now I can just run her down lane. And this is the most important thing when you're facing these matchups, is making sure you're conserving as much HP as possible in the early parts of the lane. And then once you're level 3, once you're level 4, you have your abilities, maybe you can land an E and you can all in them and you'll win in the extended fight without them just killing you one shot. So here I just take another reset. This got a little bit unfortunate here because I didn't track the Renekton roam from topside, which was a little bit sad. So I ended up dying there. But just to continue on, then again at level 6, once you have a little bit of sustain as well, the matchup gets fairly easy. I see here she blows her fair, so I just jump on her, I R her, and again she's completely out of damage at this point, so I just win the extended all in. So yeah, that's pretty simply just how to dominate the Vex matchup. If you have any questions about this matchup or anything else, my Discord is in the description, or just leave a comment. Thanks for watching.